Okay, did they seriously forget to put the B in her name? What the hell, man? There's an English translation of this anime. There's an English dub. They pronounce it Moonbay. Okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. Anyway, now we're up against a boss gauntlet, basically, because the last 3 battles of the Chaotic Century Tournament mode are going to be bosses. The first one here is Moonbay and the Ultrasaurus. I guess that's really the only character they could give to pilot the Ultrasaurus, even though hundreds of people technically piloted the Ultrasaurus in the anime, but she was the one who bossed everyone around and said, I'm a big shot because I like big clunky Zoids that don't really have much in the way of combat capabilities, but have really heavy armor. This, on the other hand, does have some pretty big guns, as I've demonstrated before in the campaign, as we fought at the end of the Empire campaign. Now I'm going to completely annihilate it as I did back then, but because we don't have any subparts or anything like that to boost our power, it does have quite a bit of resistance to our damage. As you can see, it has 9,000 health, and we've only just decreased it a bit with our weapons here. So obviously I'm going to use the lightning spikes for this battle, because the blade I could probably do with a blade liger, but I'd have to rely on the boosters a lot, because we really do need a fast Zoid for this. And I still say that the Ultrasaurus at times is probably more dangerous than the Seismosaurus because of those big cannons. They have they're more unpredictable than the Charged Particle Beam, and they hit their target faster because it doesn't have to charge up, hence the name Charged Particle Beam. Anyway, but the Charged Particle Beam lasts longer and sweeps over a greater area, I guess. But whatever. This thing has loads of other weapons. It also doesn't have those annoying shock cannons that shoot out from the side in every direction, which don't really seem to be all that effective, but are make you nervous anyway, because you think you're going to get hit when you're attacking from the sides, like I am right now with the Ultrasaurus. Anyway, enough about the Seismosaurus. That's not what we're fighting right now. We're fighting this thing, which is more than half dead now. We got it down to, I believe, a third of its max health, 3,000 of 9,000. And I really don't have much else to say about this. I'm pretty much using the same boss strategy I've been using throughout the rest of this game, with the same Zoid I've been doing it with for the rest of this game, pretty much, whenever I was able to. But yeah, I mean, if you could do this tournament without the Lightning Sykes. I mean, the Lightning Sykes is just one of my favorite Zoids, as well as the Blade Liger. You could pretty much buy any good Zoid you wanted to, as long as you're good with that particular Zoid. I mean, I'm not telling you, you have to buy the Lightning Sykes. I'm just saying, that's what I think is the easiest to use for me, so I only bought it because I'm good with it. I didn't... Yay, we're riding off into the sunset together. Look at this. Attack boosters for the win. Okay, so anyway, like I was saying, we defeated the Ultrasaurus. Now, as much flack as I gave the Shadow Fox in the campaign, because it was really quite a piece of crap in the mission that we had it in. If you wanted to buy in the tournament mode and equip it with some better weapons, like the dual sniper rifle, rather, then it would be okay. Alright, Battle 11, Hilts and the Death Stinger, as you can see, which is more accurate to the anime, I suppose, because I don't actually remember Hilts having a Zoid of any kind until the Death Stinger. I don't think he had a red Genosaur in the same way that Reese had a blue one, the Psycho Genosaur. Anyway, enough about the anime. This is not the anime, this is the game, as you know. And I'm also using the Lightning Sykes for this battle because, like I said, the Lightning Sykes is good against bosses because it can run circles around them, literally. And I'll still say the Death Stinger is the hardest of all the boss enemies, just because it's much more mobile than all the others, and it has quite a range on its melee attack. The second hardest probably being the, I guess it would be Mad Thunder, and then it would be probably the Death Sword, then the Ultrasaurus, and just so on. I don't know. I'm not going to figure out a particular order for them. I'm just saying the Death Stinger is the hardest. There will be an optional boss at the end of the game that I'll fight, though, and I won't go into too much detail about that until we come to it, but the Death Stinger has a lot less health than the Ultrasaurus, though, as you can see, which doesn't really make much sense considering in the anime the Ultrasaurus was a bit old and crumbly and frail, although it was still pretty tough because it was so freaking massive. And the Death Stinger was completely invincible. So yeah. Trying to avoid its that is just really cheap, the fact that it can use its melee attack and shoot that weird air burst cannon on its back as well. Because then you're trying to dodge the melee attack by going backwards, and then you're still lined up with it, so you can still get hit by that, and you know, whatever. So this is like the third time we fought this thing, so I'm really not concerned at all. In fact, I haven't even taken a single hit yet. Hope I didn't just jinx that. Unfortunately, our allies lost about half his health, so okay, maybe I'm not too worried about that. Him using that weapon while he. Oh, game! You had to. Oh, come on. That was way too stupid. I could have beaten this battle without taking a hit. There we go. I finished it with a melee attack just to spite it. But my ally had to come up with the freaking blades and hit me that way. I mean, I didn't take a lot of damage, so it'll still be okay. But I could have beaten that whole boss without taking a single hit if he didn't come around and ruin it. Okay, I'm getting mad over nothing. So anyway, moving on. We still got a lot of credits for that, and we got a B. I have gotten, disappointingly, no S rankings yet in this tournament mode, but we'll fix that later, hopefully. Alright, Battle 12, the final battle with Gunter Frozen, which is pronounced, or actually is spelled differently in this translation, and the Death Saurer, the regular Death Saurer, not to be confused with the Bloody Death Saurer, which never made an appearance in the campaign. So, obviously, I'm going to switch over to the Blade Lager for this, because I want to have that epic Blade Lager versus the Death Saurer finale, just like in Zoids Chaotic Sentry, although I'm not using a blue one. I suppose I could always change this color to blue and no one would know the difference. But, we're just going to go with a good old Blade Lager Mirage, just the way it is. Now, this is a pretty small map right here, this arena, so our frame rates are actually going to be good for once, unlike the rest of this game where the frame rates tend to be pretty choppy with some of the larger maps. So that's one thing I really like about this area, is it's bigger than the arenas you get in Zoid's Fist. It's big enough to hold a boss, but it's closed in, so, you know. But yeah, the Death... Ooh, dang. Yeah, that cannon on top of its head is one of the things you really have to worry about. And also it has another cannon there that it's using right now. I like to call it its crotch cannon, because I guess that is technically where it's located. And those two cannons and the one on its back are really the only things you need to worry about, because you can dodge the charged particle beam pretty easily, and the missiles, a lot of times the missiles end up crashing into the ground as long as you're moving. And there was actually a couple times, I can't remember what time it was when I fought the Death Saurer, where the missiles came around and actually hit the Death Saurer itself, and it's pretty funny when that happens. But just because those weapons are so friggin' powerful, if we get hit by them, we're pretty much screwed, regardless of the Blade Lager is decently tough. The reason why another reason why I'm using the Blade Lager instead of the Lightning Sykes is because if we got hit by that cannon with the Lightning Sykes, we would have lost about half our health. So that just goes to show you the difference between these two Zoids, and why the Lightning Sykes, although brilliant... Oh god, why did I do that? That was bad. Yeah, one thing about having the boosters on is... Okay, let me try to use the blades here. I actually got a good hit on him, because I've seen people do this. I've seen people take down the Death Saurer only using the Blade Lager's blades, which doesn't work in the anime, if you remember, or at least didn't work until they launched the Blade Lager out of a cannon. But which was quite amusing, actually. But yeah, if we do it just right, apparently we can hit him with the blades. It doesn't do like as much damage as it would. Oh, that hit his tail. Okay, I'm gonna stop that, because that's just getting my ass kicked here. I don't actually take any damage, it seems, when I bounce off of him like that, but it's just not good to get incapacitated like that, so I'm just going to keep using the attack boosters. But anyway, Lightning Sykes, as I said before, is incredibly fast, and I do recommend it against most bosses, but we've already taken a few hits here, so if we had taken those hits, we might not have even survived with the Lightning Sykes. That just goes to show you the difference in toughness between these two Zoids. But I'm repeating myself here, so here the missiles come back around and hit him just like I said they would. Isn't that brilliant? And he's taking forever to die this time around, but he is slowly deteriorating. I'm going to make a complete joke of him like I did in the campaign. I believe during the Empire campaign, when we had to fight a version of the Bloody Death Sword that had half its health, and we just completely annihilated it. Oh, I got hit again from the crotch cannon, which is not good. I'm only about a third of my health now, and if I take another couple hits, I am dead. But I think we got this guy because he only has 1,000 health left, and I failed at dodging missiles, so I am doing really poor at actually hitting this guy with the attack boosters. I'll be honest here. I need to practice with the Blade Liger more, because I'm used to the turning radius of the Lightning Spikes, which is slightly different than this. The Blade Liger has a really good turning speed, but not while it's using the boosters. God dang it. My ally got the kill instead of me, which means no points for, no 7,000 points for, or however many points it is, not probably 9,000 for killing it. But we won! We defeated the Death Saurer and the Chaotic Century tournament with it. So yeah, we did not do very well though, unfortunately. We only got 5,000 credits, or battle points, whatever they're called. And it says, "You are the great warrior" at the end, which is a horribly mistranslated line, probably. And I don't know what the voice actors actually say when you get to that point, because I turned the voice acting off. So, yeah. So the Blade Liger Mirage rides off into the sunset, and we get the credit sequence again. We'll be seeing that 2 more times, as we now have to move on to the new Century Zero tournament mode. I'm going to go and save over the save file. And it will now say clear, and if we load it again, we'll be taken back to the character select screen next time.